While looking at variance, you could use standard deviation as a tool to help describe the variability in the original units of measurement. Standard deviation is the rough measure of the average, or standard, amount by which scores deviate on either side of their mean. Therefore, you could use standard deviation as a measure of distance. The value of standard deviation can never be negative, because if you square that value, the deviation will disappear. However, if there is a negative sign, it means that it's indicating that the standard deviation is below the mean. In general, for most frequency distributions, a majority of all scores are within one standard deviation on either side of the mean. Also, another generalization is that a small minority, often as small as 5% of all scores, deviate more than 2 standard deviations on either side of the mean. Another thing we can use to measure variance is the sum of squares. This is defined as the sum of squared deviation scores. To reconstruct the definition formula, you will subtract the population mean from each original score to obtain a deviation score. Then square each of the deviation scores to eliminate negative signs, and then sum all squared deviation scores. There's also a computation formula that you can use for the sum of squares. First, you square each x score, then sum the squared x scores together. The square of the sum of all x scores is obtained by first adding all x scores and then squaring the sum of those.